users, and welcome, Lydia. So, today, guys, let me guess. You've probably lit the candles, put on the music, did your visualizations of your dream life, maybe even dropped down to your knees and did a little prayer to God and the universe, and then cried in your smoothie. Yeah, Lydia and I know these things too. And because manifesting, you, the first time I heard about it, it was like this was supposed to be magical. It was supposed to be not full of emotional, emotional jobs but you get to this point like the only thing I'm manifesting is stress and headache. So today we're going to talk about when LOA starts to feel like an LOA burnout where you get tired, right? Discouraged. And honestly, you're starting to wonder sometimes if God, the universe, has just lost your address completely. So, and Lydia and I have both been there. And I will be the first person to say sometimes I still go there, like, huh? And so we want to help you today gently rebuild your trust and your faith without pressure to be positively fake or push through something. So, we're going to talk about what's really going on and how to start aligning again um, through some peaceful steps. So, first thing we're going to talk about is what does LOA burnout really feel like? Maybe like Lydia, like for one thing, like everything you're doing isn't right. You've tried everything, it's not right. And you're just feeling not empowered and feeling exhausted. Have you been there? I know you have.
I have, and the burnout was like again, I started to make like meditations, candles, all the rituals. I decided to make them like a checklist. And if and here's the FOMO that I told you that if for one reason, one day or in the morning, I didn't do my meditation, I was like, ooh, I'm doomed. No, this is not going to be a very good day because I missed my morning meditation and then la la la. So there was a moment in which I was doing meditations, doing exercises, Kundalini yoga, watching YouTube videos, in XYZ courses, and I was like, and journaling, and this and that, and the water, and the food, and the nature, and I was like, very tired.
Yeah.
Because just as you said, I started to notice, and I bet a lot of our amazing audience it's related to this. I started to see that perhaps people that I know that they don't know or they know about law of attraction, but because law of attraction is known worldwide, right? But I started to perceive these people that they don't apply consciously like the XYZ concepts, the spiritual concepts, and they were like, I lost my job. And then the very same day, I have a new job and it's even better. And they're gonna pay me double. And I was like, okay, what do you I was like, explain, what do you do? Because I don't believe that he or she they are meditating or the candles or so I was like, just as you said, I love it. The universe lost my address or so? What's going
Yeah, and sometimes like you think that I know some people said like you're broken or you're doing LOA wrong. And 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 I think what you just explained is that we're putting too much pressure on ourselves and it's time to put all that down. And I can even relate to one thing you said because I did that this morning. I go, um, I didn't have time to really do my meditation and journaling. That's why I'm freaked out today. And I know that that does help, but it's like my God, it's just one day. It's like,
No, and again, now that we know, it's like the most important thing, as Bashar says. But I'm just like remembering his words. Uh, your state of being matters.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter where you are. Only your state of being matters, materializes, whatever. So I was like, that was what's going on within me. Like I was trying to check the list, feeling the pressure, the anxiety, judging myself. So I was in that state of being, of judging myself, feeling guilty or anxious. And of course, I mean, it is physics.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not that I wasn't enjoying the meditations. No, because I truly embrace meditating. It's like, oh my gosh, so beautiful. The thing was that if I missed one of them, I was like, oof, I lost energy, on and that noise, those that conversation within myself, it's in the background,
Right.
right?
Right. And
So yeah.
that was a good point. And we're going to get more into that state of being stuff in step three.
Okay.
So
Awesome. Okay.
it's
Go
like,
ahead.
oh, that was cool. So,
Break it up.
so when we're going to start, like she said, it's time to put it down and rest from performing. That's what we're going to call it, to relax from performing and stop trying to earn your manifestations by having to be in a constant high vibe or a certain place. Real alignment, and Lydia and I both know this doesn't come from performance. She was talking about that a little bit right now. It comes from presence. So take a break, be still, and trust that no matter how you're feeling, that that is a measurement of your worthiness. And sometimes
Yes.
the best thing you can do is just breathe and be human. And I was going to add there, right there, that somebody just recently, it was actually Sarah Landon, she was telling somebody, or I don't know who it was, actually. I've been listening to so many people. If you're find your way and you don't, do just 3 minutes of stillness. Now, I'm not talking about meditation. You can even be in your car and do 3 minutes of stillness where you're just being still and creating a piece of acceptance and peace. You know,
Yeah.
and so I that would be one step that I think would be easy for all of us to take. And okay, if you can't do 3 minutes, then do 1 minute of stillness. And you can do that all throughout the day, a minute. Actually, I remember another teacher, Don Michaels, talking about the 15-second meditation, she would call it. And again, it was just 15 seconds of stillness. And she had professional golfers and athletes doing that. And it said they changed their whole game, people, just by
Mhm.
15 seconds. So stop, breathe, and remember you're human
Yeah.
and be still. And don't put so that was good. I like that because it's so simple, you know?
It is.
It isn't complex at all. So
No.
the next thing is people might be thinking, when because when burnout hits too, we often do try even harder. Thinking the more we try to control it, the more it'll help. But tr we're going to talk about building trust and faith again, and it's like a relationship. You don't force relationships, you nurture it. And so instead of asking, how do I get what I want? Maybe ask, how do I reconnect with myself and with something greater than me? Then things start to soften a little, and the whole faith trust starts to grow quite, in the background. and you can nurture it. So I think that's a good thing is like instead of trying, because when we're going to talk about this the next step, manifestation is most people think about, manifesting everything perfectly. But what if it was where you could ask yourself, how do I reconnect with myself and with something greater than me? And maybe, because I know a lot of people believe there's things greater than me, but the greater than you could be nature. It could be God. It could be the sky, the stars, or reconnecting with everything and yourself. But I think that yourself is priority. What what do you, I mean, Lydia, I know you do too. So, I mean, that's so key. Reconnecting with yourself. How would you reconnect with yourself?
Yeah, precisely. Everything, I agree with that. And as you were speaking, is like the most important thing is that to realize that we need to have that coherence between our physical mind, our heart, and our higher self, right? And it's one of the things that Joe Dispenza is like his topic, heart brain coherence. So sometimes when we start like practicing this knowledge more and more, it's like we are so much, excuse me, so much still in our brains. Again, that I need to do XYZ, that we forget about the main thing again. And as Abraham Hicks say, it's like it is not even about the things, it's about the way you think you're gonna feel when you get those things. And I know you, just as our beautiful audience, know that. And it's like, yes, of course I know that. But I want the car, I want the relationship, I want the money, I want the health. And perhaps some can say, like, I'm not even asking for a house or more money, I just want my health. I just don't want to feel the pain or the pain that causes me because I'm going through a breakthrough or separation or a divorce or it's and we totally get that. But again, I'm gonna you're gonna I'm gonna hear or I am hearing myself as Joe Dispenza. We have evidence. Evidence in my own life experience, forget about clients, students, or peers or friends, that I have evidence in my own life experience that one of the most important things is to not judge ourselves, not even in this. So, again, when you're saying, ask yourself how to improve that connection with our higher self, with our spirit, our soul. First of all, and I totally agree with that, we are never disconnected. And Bashar says that. We are not. The only thing is that we are so distracted with the thoughts of the mind, right? So, what we need to do is to those moments of stillness that you're talking about that are very simple. Those 15 seconds, I've heard about 17 seconds. Okay, 15, 17 seconds to just remain quiet in silence. Neurologically speaking, physically speaking, neurologically speaking, we're going to tap into ease. And that's what we need the most,
Ex-
right?
Exactly.
And
And
then the next and the next and the next. Yeah.
and you can even do that. The beauty of that, Lydia, is you can even do that like at the grocery store. I mean, so what, you have to stand there in front of the apples and just hold one for a while and just breathe for 15 seconds. I bet you somebody might even say, ask if they ask you like what's going on and you told them, they'd go, "Oh my God, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that too." And they'd probably grab the apple too and start doing it with you. So,
Yeah, exactly.
so
Because again, the goal, just as you said, is like to again, okay, reconnect or to really listen our the thoughts of the heart. And remember, they're very subtle. So it's like listening to those thoughts of the heart. Yeah, it is up to you. It's different from each and every one of us. And it could be at the grocery store, watching apples and
yeah,
just being,
yeah,
and suddenly you feel like something you are producing, you are creating, you're tapping into this beautiful feeling of relaxation, of calmness, right? And then it's going to allow you, because that's the way we work in this physicality, in this physical body, and the brain is going to respond. The brain wants ease.
yes. And I was going to add one more thing before we move on to our next one is um, while you're doing the stillness, drop down into your heart, with the breath and with the stillness. So that's another topic, but that's important to, and if you have to, even put your hand on your heart while you're doing the 15 seconds or 3 minutes of stillness. Just put that reminds you, drop there.
Yeah.
Because
Or
there's more calmness there.
tap into your heart is like when we're tapping into our heart, or I've just I've just learned
You
this
can
from,
tap.
yeah, Anik Galan. She showed me like you can do this. Just cross your arms and you just can do this movement, and it's like you tap into this calmness. So again, these tools, whatever tool you're using, keep using it, but from an energy that I just want to feel good. And then the house and the car and the relationship, but I just want to feel good right now. And
Right.
it, right?
Yes, it
So
does.
what
So
else do you have it there?
So one more thing is that we'll leave with you guys before we tap out here is to maybe redefine what manifestation really means to you. Because as we were speaking, for most people, they associate it with getting things. But what if real manifestation, this is something for everybody to ponder, is becoming the version of you who can live with more peace and more trust and more freedom.
Absolutely.
I,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so and I love that because that's where I had to go. And maybe, the thing that didn't show up was actually just making space for something better. So celebrate everyone, the growth that you've already had, the proof that the universe hasn't given up on you. It hasn't. And you haven't given up on yourself either. You don't have to fix your vibration. You don't have to try harder. You don't have to be a perfect, the spiritual student. You're allowed to feel disappointed. You're allowed to feel all of it. You're just still on track. And so the faith and the trust is going to rebuild slowly. And sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is just take a nap or drink some tea, or and just try and build on that, nurture that trust that it's all still working in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the more we do that, again, at the end of the day, our purpose in this physical reality is to know more about ourselves in this expression that our higher self, our soul, our spirit decided to create. So this particular expression of me, of you, of whom is of you that are listening right now to us, it is beautiful. It is a representation of your higher self. Now, is when we accept that, when we can see the beauty of it, and not only that, if we add the fact that again, our physical bodies are so amazing, is such a great, uh, I'm not gonna say invention because okay, we are whatever is your faith is like son of God or sons of God or creation from all that is. This physical body, the way we are creating this very moment, it is so powerful. So the more we know about ourselves, not only what we are like, okay, we have a body, a brain, physically speaking, but we what we are spirit in our spiritual body, emotional body, the more we know, really know, then we drop. It is not that we drop. Then we know that the real treasure is the way we feel, the way we are experiencing, the way we are present every moment in this very moment. And I can tell you, my dear Tracy, and I share this with our amazing audience, seriously, perhaps other versions of me had more money in her bank accounts. Yes. Perhaps other versions of me had more uh, things, the car, the house, the big house, the blah, 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 blah. Yes. Or the relationship. But I can tell you right now that this version of me that is in front of you is the most pleasant, fulfilled, joyful, blissful, most of the time, version of myself. And therefore, it is the healthiest version of myself, not even in my 20s, 30s. So, for me, this is
She's old
a
audience.
great manifestation, right? Yes.
I was saying she thinks she's old.
Not even 20, 30,
People,
40,
there are people that are like, so yes, we agree.
not
So,
even in my 40s.
so
Yes.
yes, I was like, so I'm in my 60s, everybody. So it's like, and I never, to this point, it's like you might be asking yourself, well, what have I done? It's like, I don't have the big house. I've never had the big money. I am the classic LOA loser. I am the classic. I'm the one that's like everything that we're talking about. Yeah, for 20 years. So that's what so that's so I
Yeah.
I
And thank
totally understand where all this is
thanks to that, I'm sorry to interrupt, but but it's a thought from the heart. Thanks to that, my dear Tracy, we are creating this.
Yes, that's how it came
And I
about.
am here with you. And I know that is helping people to just accept it. And just by accepting it, it's like, oh, wow, I am not the only one. So,
Yeah.
ah,
And we're
right?
all in this. And I remember
In
Abraham
this
Hicks used
together.
to always say, we're all in this together. And so, okay, everyone, if this video resonated with you, drop let's say a big red heart in the comments below. And we'd love to know, both of us, where you are in your journey with LOA. Are you resting? Are you rebuilding? We don't want to say still trying to figure it out. Don't figure out. Have you gotten to the allowing state, or you've got to where Lydia and I talk about where the things don't matter anymore? What matters is our happiness. Let's support each other in the comments. And we're going to have more to come next week. Not for sure what we're going to talk about, but it'll be good. It'll be something that'll be further on this topic, and we would love for you to join us. So, in the meantime, got any last words, Lydia?
Just that I love the message, I love the topic, and I love being here. And just as you're saying, see you next week for another LOA Losers.
Celebrating LOA losers!